Nakalanap yung Good morning, everyone.
Good morning po.
Welcome to the conference. Is January January in the fifth year program the bishop agreed the one is actually given Jesus is being given Jesus is in if it was actually given the still given yes, we are in the we have a level to get in the mail on our complaints. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for the video conference for contract ID number 26 of the 11, 26 of the 0017, 26 of the 0018, 26 of the 0019, 26 of the 0020, and 26 of the 0026. Software person, Sulaiman Day Malaya. Vice Chairperson, Francis S. Margarita. Back member, Lionel Hernandez. End user for construction, Julian Prieto. Back PWD member, Frederick Mesa. Back secretariat member, Julie K. Sulyamar.
Present.
Janine Marie Elizabeth D. Flores.
Present.
Secretariat member. And your truly, Oliver H. Castillo, German. Yeah, and here's what that. Since the membership of the of business that is we discuss the
Good morning, everybody.
Oh,
Kaya sharing na po
what's the budget?
Tagang Pedroan o Addiction of the policy. First, stability contracting. I believe the contract market has been isang next is the requirement instructions. First, general conditions of contract, special conditions of contract, indicators, police, bill of quantities, and reports. Next, the documents being submitted by the bidders in the technical proposal and the results. In the criteria and procedure for eligibility check of preliminary detailed evaluations of each cost qualification and award. The second is the questions or comments from the bidders, training and replies like that's the service. The third one is the other owners. The summary of the CDs for legal things to be mentioned now.
Siya to dito. Awas.
And then we like
And then,
end user
wala kita ka na. Mga pumus yan.
project
Sige.
including for the business contact data. For the
Sabog na guys.
skill level, contract name is 001 ensure safe and reliable national road system network development program. Widening secondary roads is Masbate-Cataingan-Placer road, kilometer 74 plus 20 to kilometer 74 plus 5. Contract applications is Masbate-Cataingan-Placer road. Budget for the program is 32,007,024 pesos and dollars now. The contract duration of 152 calendar days and amount of leading documents of 25,000. Second contract, 26 FJ017, the contract name, CSSP BIP, multipurpose building support services. Construction of multipurpose building, Uson Central Schools, full ID 113977, Uson Masbate. Contract location, Uson Masbate, approved by the Pulau Paga, 4,869,049 pesos and 75 centavos. Contract duration of 19 calendar days and amount of bidding documents of 5,000 pesos. So, third Paga, 26 FJ 0080, Contract name is CSSP, DIA multi-purpose buildings or facilities to support services. Construction of multi-purpose building over port, Barangay Badling, Uson, Masbate, 12.192570 north and 128.83480 east. Contract location is Uson, Masbate. Full budget for the contract is 4,269,049 pesos and 75 centavos. Contract duration is 90 calendar days. Noted documents is 5,000 pesos. The fourth contract is 26FJ0019. Contract name is Convergence and Special Support Program. Sustainable Infrastructure Projects Alleviating Ducts CPAG. Public Water Supply System. Construction of Public Water Supply System Barangay Morocborocan, Uson, Masbate. 12.238055 north and 123.797222 east. Contract location in Barangay Morocborocan, Uson, Masbate. Approved budget for the contract is 4,949,006 pesos and 25 centavos. Contract duration is 85 calendar days. The amount of bidding document is 5,000 pesos. This contract is 26MJ0020. Contract name is Convergence and Special Support Program. Basic Infrastructure Program DIP. Public Water Supply System. Construction of Public Water Supply System. Barangay Panisihan, Uson, Masbate. Contract location is in Barangay Panisihan, Uson, Masbate. Approved budget for the contract is 4,945,595 pesos 89 centavos. Contract duration is 85 calendar days. Amount of bidding documents is 5,000 pesos. The last paragraph 6, paragraph is 26 and 006. Contract name is 001. Ensure safe and reliable national road system network development program. Road widening secondary roads, Masbate-Cataingan-Placer road, kilometer 45 plus 6,
Hello?
kilometer 45 plus 3 and 4. Application is Masbate-Cataingan-Placer road. Approved budget for the contract is 38,459,096 pesos, 8 centavos. Contract duration is 90 calendar days, and an amount of bidding documents of 25,000 pesos. Second, that's all for the visit. For the requirements of bidding documents, the first envelope shall contain the following. Technical documents, including the eligibility document. So for the requirements of bidding documents, so instruction procedures are already available, including the general conditions of contract, record conditions of contract, the specifications and drawings, and the qualities forms available in Masbate and posted in the website and the website. So for the documents to be submitted by the readers, the first and bid envelope shall contain the following technical documents, including the eligibility documents. First is field jobs certificate of registration, the platinum membership, in accordance with Section 20 of the IRR. Second is pick up license and registration in case of joint venture, AB. Third is statement about its ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract provision. Third, a fourth is statement of the bidders test LCC in accordance with ITB clause 5.5. The SLCC shall be supported by the owner certificate of final acceptance and issued by the project owner other than the contractor, or the final rating of at least satisfactory in the CFS, or a similar performance and monitoring system. In case of contracts with the private sector, an equivalent document shall be submitted. And for the NFCC computation, in accordance with the agreement clause 5.6. So for the NFCC, the is equal to the current assets minus current liabilities times a factor a factor is given with instead of 15 remaining days with the factor indicating the years of spirit implementation. Then for one yeah, ano ba yan sa NFCC computation? Instead of 15, not below pa. Okay, I'm sorry. Ayan. For correction lang po in the presentation with the TGM number to the gain factor, multiplier based on the duration of the specific contract we are bidding for. Example A for 10 for projects lasting 1 year or less, 15 for projects lasting more than 1 year or 2 years, and 20 for projects lasting more than 2 years. Then minus the value of all outstanding or uncompleted orders of the projects and contracts, including awarded contracts that will be started coinciding with the procurement project. Then the joint venture agreement is awarded. Then bid security in the prescribed form and amount in accordance with activity clause 16 and the limited period under activity clause 16. And the project requirements, which shall include the following: the organizational chart of the person to be mutually for procurement project to be lead, and the list of contractors personnel, several project managers, project engineers, materials engineers, and foremen. We assign to the procurement project to be lead with their complete qualifications and experience data. These personnel must meet the required minimum years of experience in the BDS. Then the list of contractors, major equipment units with their own or lease or other purchase agreements, supported by proof of ownership or certification of availability of equipment from the equipment lessor or vendor for the duration of the project. The list may be which must meet the minimum requirements for the contract set in the BDS and the omnibus store statement in accordance with section 54.3 of the IR. Then the disclosure of relations and beneficial ownership goes up to sections 81, 84 of the IR. And the second and below shall contain shall contain the following. First is the financial bill form, which includes bid prices, then the bill of fund release, in accordance with IB Block 13.1. The detailed unit price analysis, including summary sheet for unit prices raised, then the cash flow by quarter. The chemistry is let's proceed with the criteria and procedure checking. And below the links to us of the types of award we can start for the engineer for the board.
Di mo na may pagkasa. Sige. Di mo na kasama.
So additional for requirements of bidding documents or the review for the instruction leaders. The for 36 FJ 11, the requirement of pickup license for this organ is section is region A, license category B, category This is for 100 years of for the implementation of ISO. The requirement for large scale including the software procurement of infrastructure projects. And the major categories of work is RCP, roads, construction, and safety. And the similar categories of works are RRP, roads, rehabilitation, CP, And RCPT, roads, construction, or tunnel PCP, then please refer to DEO 134 series of 2025, updated guidance for the determination of major and similar across work and living. So, and for the minimum work experience requirements for this person are the following. For the manager, 5 years relevant experience and 5 years relevant experience. For the engineer, 3 years relevant general experience and 3 years relevant experience, and accredited and accredited public engineer in accordance with DO 169 series of District 5. And for the years engineer, 3 years general experience, 3 years relevant experience, and also an accredited engineer in accordance with the OMD series of the construction format is with 2 years general experience and 2 years relevant experience. Then the accredited safety officer is required by issuance of notice of award, subject to the Department Circular number 33, series of 2025, Department Order number 52, series of 25. Safely the first aider program. Procedure. And the key personnel should meet the following number of years of work experience. First experience must be total years of civil work experience of any major infrastructure related to services. Then include the tax identification number P of the key personnel. Client would be only 8 years of experience. So it is on the accreditation of
Gusto mo tagal sa explanation yung po.
accreditation number 8 for the minimum major equipment requirements
Dapat ang kinali.
are the following. Loaded trailer truck, 1 unit pass, 1 unit motor 1 minute. Authorized road grader, clarifier, 163 HP D710D, 1 unit. Laboratory roller, 10 125 HP FD 1BDC, 1 unit. Dump truck, 12 yards, 2 units. Payloader, 1.5 meter LX80 2C, 1 unit. Cargo service or state truck with 5 metric ton, 1 unit. Water truck or box is 10,000 liters, 1 unit. Bulldozer with 167 HTV extra cylinder, 1 unit. Cargo truck 910 metric ton, 1 unit. Plastic mixer 5 cubic meter, 4 units. Concrete vibrator, flexible shaft type 2 inches head diameter with 5 amperes galvan drive unit, 2 units. Concrete batch plant 30 cubic meter, 1 unit. Concrete splitter 5.5 HP, 1 unit. Concrete saw for the display the galvan 4 concrete rods 1 unit, 1 unit. Applicator machine and enable machine 1 unit. Joining sealer machine gas or desalinating between hot or cool for number machines. Bar cutter 25 and maximum bar diameter for the single ones to be or 2 and maximum bar diameter for the piece 1. Or when 25 and maximum bar diameter basically 1 batch mixer 4 to 6 cubic gauge 1 unit. Plate compactor 580 1 unit. Black hole wheel type 0.7 meters 1 unit. Party fascia 6 cubic units. Boom truck 187 HP LXP 1160 what else? Chainsaw HUSP Warna 2000 CD the minimum requires the regulation based on DEO 11 series of based on DO 127 series of 127 series of 28. And compliance of Department Order number 8 series of 2012 in the accordance to the regulations. Section 63 the News Regulating IR of the Budget Act 12009 entitled New Government Procurement Act and other related policies and guidelines. Under rules and regarding invokes qualification for the procurement of goods and asphalt projects. And only concrete and asphalt mixes produced by duly accredited batch plant by DRS shall be used in DPWH projects pursuant to number 253 series of 2000. Then for the bid purity, stability in the form of a mid-spirit inflation or reduce at least one of the following has. So, an amount of the cash, for example, to a series check, manager's check, bank cloud, or indemnity, letter or credit, or security guard. It's continuing.
Naman, conflicts na.
Number 26 at base 070. The required minimum pickup license is small P. As it's category C and D. Again, this is for the 110 years of the one. The major category of works are CP, same the one for the same that's also based on DEO 1 years of the so for practicing again. With a minimum work experience requirement, say from the previously mentioned project, the minimum for the minimum major equipment requirements is backhoe, quantity activity their capacity 1 unit, dump truck quantity capacity 2 units, plate factor 5 HP 1 unit, 1 bagger 426 per minute 1 unit. Bar cutter, single base, 1 unit, bar bender, 3 base, 1 unit, welding machine, current amperes of 40 HP, 2 units, cutting outfit, 1 unit, and truck mounted weight, 1 unit, 25. Sticker based on DO 11, 017, and DO 107 space. And then, what you remind yourself, on the only complete and uncommon says we do not be really a very much fan by the champion and level projects. Which one will you go to find this years of
Next.
for the case FJ 0080, the minimum minimum license
Yes.
B as category C and D. And the major categories of board, category of board is BICWOPLC, buildings, construction without files, low rise, longer frame, 1 to 5 stories. Similar categories of works are BICWPH, CCP, BACWP HC16, BACWP LCCP, BICWP HCBP, BICWP BCBP 16, BACWP LCBP, BACWOP HC, BICWOP HC16, BICWP MCBP, BICWP M16, and BICWO. Then to separately one processing. Same minimum work experience requirements. For the minimum major equipment requirements. Backhoe of 0.8 cubic meter, 1 unit, dump truck of 2 units, space of factor 5 HP, 1 unit, 1 bagger, mixer 46 cubic feet per minute, 1 unit, bar cutters, no base 1 unit, bar bender, 3 base 1 unit, welding machine, 10 amperes, 8 HP, 2 units, cutting off with 1 unit, back mounted blade, 22 much. For 26 and 3090, the minimum income license is still small B, C, and D. Major category of work is WSL2, water supply level 2, pipe water with communal or solar powered water system. And the similar categories of works are WSL2 and 3, water supply level 2 and 3, construction or pipe water with communal or private water point. WSL3, water supply level 3, construction or of private water point or solar power water system. And CP, flood control construction pumping station. And this is for the DEO and saving experience requirements. For the initial major government requirements, plate compactor, 5 HP, 1 unit, compact vibrator, 2 units, 1 bagger compact mixer, 1 unit, bar cutter, single phase, 1 unit, bar bender, single phase, 1 unit, welding machine, 500 amperes, electric driven, 1 unit, cutting out rail, 1 unit, drill grid, cutting out locally, 1 EMM diameter, 1 unit, and boom clock, 1 unit. Same references with the DEO as previously noted. But it was 26 updated still 20. Minimum pickup license in small b and CNB. Then the major category work is the same as previously mentioned, WSL2, and the similar categories of works are WSL2 only, WSL3 and FC. Same as previously. Isn't it previously? Say minimum work experience requirements. And the minimum major requirements is saying the we except later than 90. And say still based on the excited and last is the 26 FJ0026. Minimum requirement of license medium A and it's category B. The major category of works are RCB. The similar categories of works are RRB and RCB. Say minimum work experience requirements. The minimum major equipment requirements. Low bed trailer truck 1 unit, backhoe roller 0.80 cubic meter 1 unit, motorized road grader fence clarifier 150 HP is water supply. One fifty, 150 HP D7 10B roller, an MD 125 HP SD 1DC 1 unit, dump truck of repaired units, space over 1.5 meter, LX 20, HVB 1 unit, cargo servicers, take truck 2.5 MD 1 unit, water truck or pump 60,000 liter 1 unit, bulldozer, bulldozer 170 HVB X175 1 unit, cargo truck 910 MD 1 unit, that's a mixture 5 unit 4 units, compact vibrator that go down by units. We have a relationship with 5 amperes plus then by unit 2 units. Compact batch plant 30 millimeter 1 unit. Compact spreader 5.5 HP 1 unit. Compact saw 40 inches blade diameter for 24 cutting depth 1 unit. Applicator machine 1 unit. Daily machine 1 unit. Drawing sealer machine. Gutters diesel driven with hot or cold spray nozzle 1 unit. Bar cutter with 25 mm max bar diameter gate 1 single base 1 unit. 42 mm max bar diameter gate 1 single base 1 unit. Bar blender 25 mm max bar diameter 3 base 1 unit. 1 bagel mixer 1 unit. Plate compactor 5 HP 1 unit. Backhoe wheel type 407 million 1 unit. Barangay transfer light system units. Boom truck 197 HP NXB 11 is 16 $1X 1 unit. Chainsaw issue bar na 2,100 CD with CR 1 the same department orders as shown. That's all.
At din pa din basahan mo kuya. Kasi adi mo lang sa PBB.
Page 24. We need to. Good morning. So we discussed the procedures. Criteria and procedure for reading each step, preliminary examination of fees, evaluation of fees, cost qualification, and award. So opening and preliminary examination of fees, the box shall open the bids and funds immediately after the deadline for submission and receipt of bids as specified in the DEO. In case the bids cannot be opened as scheduled with the justifiable reason, the box shall take off the day of the agreed given bids is scheduled the opening of bids on the next working days or at the soonest possible time through the issuance of notice of postponement to be posted on the media website and the website of the concurrent entity. The manner of opening of bids for infrastructure for shall depend on the award criteria to be adopted. So sa akin po is the lowest calculated responsibility. The box will open the technical and financial proposals on the same day. To ensure to pay 2.5 for the bidder or their duly authorized representatives may attend the opening of bids. The bank shall ensure the integrity, purity, and confidentiality of all submitted deals. The abstract of bids as well. The minutes of the bid will open of the bids openings shall be made available to the public upon written request and payment of a specified fee to recover the cost of material. To ensure transparency and accurate representation of the information, the bank secretariat will notify in writing or bidders which bids you have received through mail at its stringent registered physical address or official email address. The said notice shall be issued within 7 calendar days from the date of the bid opening. Evaluation and comparison of bids. Process to be confidential. Members of the bank, staff, and personnel secretariat and CWG, as well as observers are prohibited from making or accepting any communication with any bidder regarding the evaluation of their bids until the issuance of the notice of award, unless otherwise allowed in the case of ITV Clause 24. Any effort by the bidders to influence the procuring entity, the procuring entity's decision with respect of bid evaluation, bid comparison, or contract award will result in the difference of bid. Clarification of bids. Office the evaluation, comparison, and cost qualification of the bids. The procuring entity may ask in writing any bidder for clarification of its bid. All responses to requests for clarification shall be in writing. Any clarification submitted by the bidder in respect to its bid that is not a response to the request of the procuring entity shall not be considered. The procuring entity evaluation of bid shall be based on the bid price quoted in the bid form, which include the bid of summary. The procuring entity will undertake the detailed evaluation in comparison of the bids which have passed the opening and preliminary examination of bids pursuant to ITV Clause 22 to determine the lowest calculated bid.
The award criterion shall be determined as follows. For lowest calculated bid, the detailed evaluation of the financial component of the bid is complete the correct calculated prices of bids. The ranking of the total bid prices as calculated from the lowest to highest, where the bid with the lowest price shall be identified as the lowest calculated bid. 25.5, the bank shall immediately conduct a detailed evaluation on fixed using non-discretionary criteria in considering the following. Forgiveness of bid, and unless the BDS allows partial bid, bids not addressing or providing all of the required items in the BDS shall be considered not responsive, and thus automatically disqualified. However, when no price or a zero or a dot is indicated in the required item in the bid form, the same shall be construed that it is being offered for free to the government except those required by law or regulations to be provided for. And B, arithmetical correction. The box shall consider computational errors and omissions to enable proper comparison of all eligible bids. It can also consider bid correction if expressly allowed in the DBA. Any adjustment shall be calculated in monetary terms to determine the calculated price. For post qualification, section 3.6, the box shall determine to its satisfaction whether the bidder that is evaluated is saving submitted the lowest calculated bid. As the case may be complied with and is responsive to all requirements and committed to specify in the ITB Clause 5 and 12. The bidder within an analysis that is considered of 5 calendar days from the receipt. The notice from the bank is submitted. Lowest calculated bid shall submit all documents for the service in different certificate. Essential platinum membership. Latest business tax, the reserve fund for the preceding quarter should not be earlier than 2 quarters from the date of resolution to the second. Other appropriate licenses and permits required by law and is stated in the BDA. Failure to submit any of the post qualification requirements in time or applying TV against the veracity thereof shall disqualify the leader of the award, provided that in the event that the finding against the veracity of any document submitted is made, shall cause the forfeiture of security. The determination shall be based upon the examination of the documentary evidence of the leader's qualifications submitted pursuant to ITB. Note 1, as well as other information as the company entity necessary and appropriate. Using an undiscretionary path or failure leader, it shall be completed within a period of 12 calendar years. Just forward. I'm sorry. If the bank determines that the bidder with the lowest calculated bid passes all the criteria for post qualification, it shall declare the sales the bid as the lowest calculated response fee and recommend it to the award of the contract to the said bidder in its completed bid price or its calculated bid price, whichever is lower, or in the case of quantity-based evaluation, procedure submitted accordingly. If, however, The VAC determines that the bidder and the lowest calculated each fails to determine the cost qualification criteria. Each element immediately notify the bidder in writing of its cost disqualification in the grounds for such determination. Immediately after the bank has notified the first bidder for the cost disqualification, notwithstanding any pending request for consideration thereof, the bank shall initiate and complete the same cost qualifications process on the bidder within the second lowest calculated bid. The second bidder passes the cost qualification and provided that the request for consideration of the first bidder has been denied. The second bidder shall be cost qualified as the bidder with the lowest calculated bid. If the second bidder, however, fails the cost qualification, the procedure for the cost qualification shall be repeated for the bidder with the next lowest calculated bid. And so on until the lowest calculated responsive bid, as the case may be, is determined for a warrant subject procedure of notice execution forward. Within a period that exceeding 10 calendar days from the determination by the bank of the lowest calculated responsive bid, and the recommendation to award a contract, the whole will authorize the present shall approve or disapprove the said recommendation. Award of contract. Subject to IDP clause 26, the hope or its duly authorized representative shall award the contract to the bidder whose bid has been determined to be the lowest rated responsibilities. Prior to the expiration of the period of bid validity, the procurement entity shall notify the bidding bidder in writing that his bid has been accepted through a notice of award to be received by the bidder or its representatives personally or by a registered mail or electronically received, of which must be confirmed in writing with the surveys by the bidder with those permitted. As applicable, it is submitted personally or sent by a registered mail or electronically to government of the government. Then 10 days, calendar days from the receipt by the winning bidder of the notice of award, the following conditions will be complied with before the contract may be awarded. Condition of the following. One is the joint venture agreement, the second, certificate of registration, the foreign corporation, applicable, or valid pickup license registration for the type and cost of the project for foreign bidder when freely be posting of performance during in accordance to ITB 13, deciding of contract and providers and ITB clause 10. That's all.
So that's all for agenda number one. Let's proceed with agenda number two. Are there any questions or queries from the witness? Ms. Julie, do you have any comments or any questions?
Ano lang po, feedback DPWH head. Ang contract name sa ID 20.
I think na sa bakit
Other matters? Are there contracts for supplemental or iwas sa supplemental billing? Ano?
VIP dapat siya detect. Dili siya, ano,
Na-forward ko dati kaya lang sa sa mga pinutan.
Sa ID ba bilang? Yung identity.
sipag talaga siya. Okay.
Are there any other ones?
Well, I will discuss the PDs, but yun na kayo bigyan ng figuring the bidding ng dagat go competitive for political and national buffer regular driven. This is specified by our other rules now of the new procurement government procurement law
Hindi na ko yan.
sa IP first. It makes restricted to bigger citizen to operatorship or varying partnership or organization should at least 60% interest or outstanding capital stock belonging
Number ano?
to the of the bidding.
Number?
Okay,
Number ano?
for
3?
IV ba? IV. IV pala.
To be a.
Ay,
Yung sa leaders may obtain further information from a parliamentary district of inspect the leading documents of the address given below from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. The convictions of leading documents can be acquired by the intelligent users on July 17 to June 17 to July 7, 2026 from the address below in the payment of applicable fee for the reading documents pursuant to the latest guidance issued by the DPWH. So kindly, ano lang po, inspect individual ID for the amount of reading documents.
na-discuss na kanina.
Ano discuss mo?
Hindi man lang, ang amount lang ang iyan na-discuss.
The Masbate District Engineering Office. Fee must be duly received by the back secretariat through mail or electronic submission. Manual submission at the address indicated below or online or electronic submission through the electronic meeting facility of the region indicated below or on July 7, 2026 at 10 a.m. The bid shall not be accepted. All bids must be accompanied by a bid security and any of the acceptable forms within the amount stated in the ID bid scheme. With the meeting held on July 7, 2026, immediately after the deadline of submission of bids of Masbate DEO conference room and or YouTube channel and then ads open current business at DPWH that Masbate 3 which will be open in the presence of the bidders representative who choose to attend the activity. It shall be addressed to the Bids and Awards Committee Chairperson, Assistant District Engineer Sulaiman De Malaya. The address of the procuring secretary is at Department of Public Works and Highways, Masbate District Engineering. Photocopy documents must be signed and certified as the true copies by the authorized officer or president. The Masbate District Engineering Office reserves the right to reject any and all bids, declare a failure of bidding, or not award a contract at any time prior to contract award in accordance with the Section 17 of RA number 1209 without thereby incurring any liability to the affected bidders or bidders. For further information, please refer to Oliver Castillo and Procurement Unit. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Castillo. Also, for our last agenda, the summary of proceedings is the use of the underlying reports. Summary of proceedings, only this basic contract data with regards to these 6 contracts under procurement and the requirements of the legal documents to be submitted by the leaders, both in technical and financial proposals, and the legal criteria and procedure for the conduct of the activity, checking preliminary submitted fees, detailed evaluation, and the cost for employed. Activity award was already discussed, detailed by our end user for the construction projects and the procurement engineer. So, no questions or comments raised from the viewers and members of the hub. And the other matters discussed, Mr. Castillo discussed the schedule of this deadline for submission of the operating fees. And another is in issuance of the supplemental bulletins regarding the correction of the contract lien for the 26 FJ 0020 from Convergence and Special Support Program Sustainable Infrastructure Projects Alleviating gaps should be Convergence and Special Support Program, the Basic Infrastructure Program, Badling. That's all for the credit letters for students.
Sure, thank you very much. And, it's